So for today's class, I'm going to be going over kind of Google Ads 101, kind of just some basics about Google Ads. Then I'll talk about the different ads that you can run on Google, because Google owns a lot of other websites. Like you could run ads on YouTube. Google owns YouTube. You can run Gmail ads. There's a lot of different ad platforms out there, or ads that Google supports. And I want you to hopefully all be aware of those different ones. And then I'll talk about my favorite type of advertising. This is one I always run because it just works so well, which is remarketing, meaning anyone that's come to your website but didn't make a purchase or didn't visit a specific page, let's follow them around with ads. Really effective. These are people that have been to your website, so it's targeted traffic, not kind of cold traffic where you're just hoping they're interested. And then I'll have some Q&A at the end. So if you do have any specific questions about ads or any issues in regards to SEO or anything like that, we could talk about that at the end. But for now, I'll focus on Google Ads. And if you do have any questions about any of the stuff, you can always let me know in the chat. But if you have any specific questions, just maybe hold off to the end and I'll try to cover all those. So hopefully everyone's aware of ads in Google, what they look like. Google changes them a lot. So when you search in Google, there's going to be ads at the top of Google. And Google tries to hide them. As you can see in the slide, Google puts on the left-hand side next to the URL, it says ad, really tiny. So they try to blend it in. They try to match the colors so you don't notice that's an ad, because that's how Google makes all their money, is by people clicking on ads. So when you search in Google, or if we all search in Google right now, we're all going to get, if we search for the exact same keyword, we're all going to get slightly different results. Some of us might get shown ads. Some of us might not get shown ads. Some of us might get shown a few ads. So it's all kind of different. It's all kind of up to Google's algorithm and how it works. But when you search in Google, at most, there might be 4 ads at the top, or 3, or 2, or 1, or 0. Again, it's kind of changes, even though if you're searching for the exact same keyword, it just depends on your past browser history, your geolocation. There's a lot of factors that go into it. At the very bottom of Google, there might also be ads. There might be 3 ads, or 2, or 1, or 0, kind of changes all the time. And then in between the ads is the organic results, which is what I've tried to get you in the SEO side of things, that free listings where you're not paying. Because when you're searching on Google right now, if you click on these ads, that company is paying Google for every time you click on an ad. So it's called pay-per-click. So anytime if you search on Google and you click on someone's ad, they're paying Google couple cents to maybe a few $100s, depending on what the keyword is. It can be pretty expensive. So that's really why I try to avoid running ads, because in the long run, it does cost a lot. And once you stop spending money on ads, you just disappear. Whereas with SEO, you stop doing SEO, you're going to start falling down the rankings slowly, because your competitors are going to try to do more SEO than you, but you're not going to just disappear. Like with ads, you stop spending money, you disappear. Any ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, any ads that you run, you stop running those ads, you're completely gone. Whereas with SEO, stop doing SEO, you're still going to maintain those rankings, but you're eventually going to drop down slowly. So that's why I prefer SEO long term, but ads do work in the short term, especially if you're a new business, because with SEO, it does take about 6 months to fully take effect and get those rankings from Google. So in the meantime, you might want to be running some ads just to help supplement and get some traffic to your website to help keep it going. And so Google Ads, just some quick little tips about Google Ads. So, well, if you want to sign up, you go to ads.google.com. You can sign up, create an account, and that's where you'll be able to manage your ads and really run things and set up different campaigns and different ads and different ad types, all through ads.google.com. Controls everything. So you go there, sign up, create an account, then you'll have access to Google's ad platform, where you could start running ads, picking and choosing different targeting. I mean, there's quite a lot of details in there. There's kind of a little bit overwhelming at times, but it's just knowing what type of ads you want to run and how you want to run them. That's going to really help things out. So the way it usually works, it's pay-per-click advertising, where you pay per click. So when you search in Google, anytime you see an ad, they're paying per click. There's also other ways you could do ads. You do per impression. So anytime someone sees, let's say, a banner ad, you pay per impression instead of paying per click. There's a lot of different ways you could run ads, but the kind of the standard way, the one that really grew, is pay-per-click. That's really how Google started it all, is pay-per-click. You pay anytime someone clicks on that listing, and again, it could be a couple cents all the way up to a few $100s. When I was working at advertising agencies, I would see the paid search team spending almost $15 million a month on ads with Google, and they were considered a medium-sized advertiser. They would only get a 1-hour phone call with Google a month. I mean, eBay spends $1 million a day in ads. Amazon spends $1 million a day in ads. Google only cares about ads. That's how they make all their money. They have to have SEO, because if their page was just full of ads, you're going to go on to Bing or Yahoo or DuckDuckGo or another search engine. So Google knows they have to have that balance with ads and the organic side of things. And with the pay-per-click, when I was working at advertising agencies, I would see companies spending $100 per click. That means every time you would search on Google and you clicked on their ad, they're spending $100 per click. This was an insurance company, pretty big one. So if you think about it, car insurance agency, you sign up for car insurance, you're spending thousands of dollars a year, and you're probably going to stick with that company for years on end, and you might recommend your friends and family. So they know that even though they're spending $100 per click, in the long run, it's going to pay off, because on average, you would say maybe out of every 100 people that visit your website, 3 of them might become a lead. So spending $100 per click, and you need 100 leads or 100 people to get 3 leads. You do the math. You're going to need to make sure that you get that money back. But with insurance, you are able to, the lifetime value of a customer is a lot more than $10,000. So they understand that they're willing to spend that much just to acquire one person to sign up for their insurance. So it all comes down to your return on your ad spend and your profitability. How much are you making for every sale, and how much are you spending on ads, and does it work? Is it aligning, or are you spending more money on these ads and you're making back? Maybe you need to pull back and stop and readjust things. Or if you're making more money, then you might want to push more money into it and scale it and keep growing, and until you hit that limit where scalability doesn't function anymore and you kind of hit that growth ceiling. But initially, if it's working and you're making positive return on your ad spend, I would keep pushing those ads. But it does come back to the math. Make sure you have your return on investment, which is more importantly, you return on your ad spend, meaning that whatever money you spend on ads, you make that back, plus covering all expenses, making sure you sustain profitability. Otherwise, running ads is probably not going to be the best strategy long term, because as you can see, these ads do cost quite a bit, from a few cents per click to a few dollars. I mean, most ads, every industry is different, every niche is different. So the ads, I'm just generalizing, but on average, for maybe a couple dollars per click. Some industries are a lot more expensive, like locksmiths. Locksmith pays $100 per click, because let's say you're locked out of your house or your car. You don't really care who this locksmith is. You just need to get back inside your house or your car. So you're going to search on Google, and if you see an ad, you're probably just going to click that person or click on that ad and call that person up without really vetting them, because you just need to get inside. So the locksmith is going to pay $100 to Google per click. The locksmith is probably going to charge you $200 to open up your car or your house. So the locksmith will make $100, and then they pay Google $100. So Google makes $100 for really not doing much. They have a really smart business model where they're getting a lot of passive income off of that, and Google makes a killing off this. That's all Google really cares about is ads. They don't really care about Gmail or Chrome or all this other stuff that they're creating, YouTube. I mean, they care about it, but that's all just to collect more data to put out better ads so they can make more money. That's really all Google is out there to do, is just make more money. Android phones, all that, just to collect more data. And the nice thing about Google Ads, it's intent-based advertising. So when you're doing social media ads, like on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest or Twitter, all these different platforms, people are just browsing around social media. They're not actively looking for your product or service. You could target different demographics and age groups and interests and all these different details, and you get really hyper targeted, but that still doesn't mean that they're actively searching for your product or service. So social media doesn't have that intent, whereas if someone's on Google searching, they're actively looking. That's the main difference. Is Google ads are going to be more expensive, but you're getting quality leads that are targeted, that are actively looking for your product or service. Whereas Facebook and social media ads are going to be a lot cheaper because there's not much intent behind those ads or behind those searches. People are just browsing around, scrolling on that news feed, and then you're kind of interrupting them and disrupting them and showing them your content, your video or your banner ad or whatever it may be that you're pushing out there, but they're not really looking for your product or service at that moment. They might be, but there's not that much intent. That's why I prefer Google ads over social media, just because there's more intent behind them. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but it all comes down to that return on ad spend. Are you making that money back? With social media, I see a lot of people spending money, but they're not really getting that money back. With Google, I see a lot of people spending money and making that money back because there's intent. So that's the main difference that I really want to point out is you want to run ads that have intent behind them or towards people that have intent to actually use your product or service, not people just browsing around that might be interested in your product or service but aren't actively seeking it out. That's the main difference. So Google Ads, really great platform. And here's how Google Ads looks. I don't really want to walk through it right now because there's quite a lot in there and it can be overwhelming. Today, I want to really do an overview of Google Ads and just some of the different things you could do with Google Ads and different types of ads you can run. But Google Ads will create dashboards and you could analyze and make informed decisions based on data that you could know is statistically accurate. So getting this data, then you can make more informed decisions about what to push more money into and what to maybe stop spending money on, what keywords are working versus what keywords are not working. You'll get all that information through this data from Google Ads. So different types of ads. So there's quite a few different types of ads that you can run on Google, which is pretty nice. So the main one is search ads. This is one that everyone sees all the time. So whenever you search in Google, those ads at the top of Google, those are search ads. And the ads at the very bottom of Google are search ads, meaning they're showing in the search results. These ones tend to be a little bit more expensive just because this is the most intent-based type of advertising. Somebody searching in Google, let's say I'm an SEO company. So if someone searches SEO company near me, my ad shows up. They're actively looking for an SEO company. I want to be in front of that person. Whereas on Facebook, I could target people that have interest in SEO or business owners, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're actively looking. So search-based ads on Google have that intent, and these are pay per click. So you're paying per click. So any time somebody clicks on your listing, you're paying whatever it may be. Every ad or every keyword is going to be a different price. If you want to see how much they cost, you could go to the Google Keyword Planner. It's a free tool, and that's where you can see the average cost per click and what Google estimates that if you want to get on that first page of Google, this is how much it's going to cost per click. So if you want to go to the Google Keyword Planner, a free tool from Google, and it'll show you how much it costs per click for these ads. And then you can see, is it worthwhile? Am I going to be able to sustain profitability, or is it not going to work for me? So the Google Keyword Planner, great free tool to check out how much it's going to cost per click when you run these search ads. Search ads are really effective, but they do cost quite a bit. They're not on the cheap end. So there's other types of ads, which I'll show you right now. So display ads. These are banner ads. So when you're on different websites, let's say you're on the LA Times or the New York Times or any of these sites, Forbes, Wall Street Journal, all these sites have ads on them. And these ads are all from the Google Ad Network. So Google Display Network is partnered, or Google has pretty much partnered with almost every website on the internet that runs ads and says, we have all these advertisers that want to spend money. You have your website, let's work together and let's start showing the Google ads on your website. So any website, Forbes, you could be on almost any website with display ads. You could target and say, I want to be on, like for myself, SEO company, I could be on SEO blogs and have my banner ad in front of people reading SEO blogs. So display ads, these are just banner ads, and you could target really almost endless amounts of different targeting possibilities. You could say, I want to be on these types of websites. I don't want to be on these types of websites. So these ads are not the most effective. These are more display for branding purposes. Because think about it, how often do you see these ads on websites like New York Times or LA Times? You see these banner ads, you're not really clicking them. You're going to see them and it helps you stay top of mind to people. But most of the time, people don't click on these ads. So these ads are usually cost per impression, meaning you pay for every 1,000 people that see your banner ad, you pay a set price that Google creates, a couple dollars, depending on, again, a lot of variables that go into it. So it's very tough to equate it, but in general, it's a couple dollars for every 1,000 impressions, CPM, cost per impressions. So it's a little different. Search ads, you pay per click. Display ads, you pay per impression, because Google knows not a lot of people click on these ads. So you'll get people aware of you and it helps you stay top of mind. Display ads, I kind of think of as like social media ads. Not much intent beyond these display ads. You're hoping that they're interested, but just because they're reading an SEO blog doesn't mean they're actively looking for an SEO company. They have an interest in SEO, but that doesn't mean they're actually looking for my product or my services. So not much intent with the display ads. They tend to be a lot cheaper, just not as effective, but it's all about testing. You never know what's going to work. So when you run ads, you might want to test out search ads, test out display ads, and see which one works. Is one converting better than another, or are they both getting you leads? Keep both on. Maybe they're not working. Pause them and rethink the strategy and try to evaluate what's working and what's not working. That way you can become more efficient with your ad spend. And then there's Gmail ads. So Google owns Gmail. So anytime you log into Gmail on the desktop version, there's always a couple of ads at the top, or there might be like 2 ads at the top, sometimes 3. And these ads, you click on them and they expand and they grow and they have really rich dynamic features. Gmail ads are on the cheaper side of things. They're not as expensive because not a lot of people click on those Gmail ads either. A lot of people accidentally click on the Gmail ads. So I'm not sure if everyone has Gmail, but if you have Gmail, you'll see at the very top when you're logged in on your desktop, some ads at the top. On mobile, I don't have the Gmail mobile app, so I'm not sure how it looks right now. Everything's always changing, the way the ads look. Google's always testing different strategies to get more people to spend more money on ads and hopefully get more clicks on those ads. But Gmail ads, there'll be ads at the top of Gmail, and these ads, again, more for branding purposes. Not many people are going to click on ads on Gmail. They're on Gmail to look at email. They're not really in Gmail to go shopping, but you never know. So it might be worthwhile to play around with Gmail ads, see if it works. If not, pull it back. And with Gmail ads, you could have images, you could have videos in there. You can make it really rich and dynamic content. The display ads, the banner ads, you could just make them banners, or you can make them GIFs where they kind of change a little bit or they'll move around so it's not just static. But most websites want just static banner ads. They don't want the GIFs or the rich dynamic features. So maybe you create ads for both. For display, you have static ads and rich dynamic content. Gmail, same thing. You could test it out. Have text ads, have video ads, have banner ads. See what works, see what resonates with people, because you never know what's going to work until you test it out. It's kind of like throwing everything against the wall and seeing what sticks. With Google, just throwing up all these ads and seeing what works. What's working, push more money into it, and what's not working, pull money back and scale back. But it's all about testing, because you never really know how your audience is going to behave online. The way people behave online versus offline is completely different. So you never know who your audience is online until you start testing and seeing what's resonating and what's getting these clicks, but ultimately what's getting conversions, because clicks are great, but that's just half the step or half the battle. We need to get conversions, meaning phone calls, emails, leads, whatever your conversion goal is, sales online. That's ultimately what we want to get. So you got to make sure that you set up your ads to track conversions and see which ads are actually driving conversions, not just clicks. Clicks are great, but conversions, that's really what we care about. And then there's also YouTube ads. So YouTube ads, Google also owns YouTube. Google owns quite a lot of different websites out there. So Google owns YouTube, and YouTube is the second most popular website on the internet. Well, Google's number 1. Facebook and YouTube switch off every day between number 2 and 3 of being the most popular websites online. But having a presence on YouTube is going to be great because people want visual content. People don't want to read articles or click on a text ad and get sent to a website with a lot of content. People want video content nowadays. I mean, look at Instagram. Instagram is all about videos. Well, they have pictures, but they went from pictures to videos, and now they're really heavily focused on videos. I mean, most social media sites, videos get the most engagement. Video content, people want video content. So visual content, video content is great. And with YouTube, you could run ads in front of people's videos. So let's say I'm an SEO company. I could target anyone that's searching for SEO strategies. So you might search into Google, how to do SEO, or I mean into YouTube, type into YouTube, how to do SEO. You click on that video, and right before that video plays that teaches you how to do SEO, my ad appears saying, hi, my name is Brandon. Just want to let you know, if you need to get more traffic to your website, check out my strategies, check out my free training courses that I do, and hope to see you at one of my classes upcoming in the future. And run those ads. And you get set these ads up on YouTube. And YouTube is pretty powerful because this is where you get intent-based targeting. People are actively searching on YouTube, and you could target these people. So you could target people searching for keywords. You could even target people that have visited your competitors' websites on YouTube, which is pretty powerful. So you could go and say, all right, here's 10 of my competitors. I want to target anybody that's been to these websites. Because if they've been to your competitor's website, they're more than likely interested in your product or service. They just don't know about you. By you targeting those websites and running ads for people that have been to those websites, that's going to be really powerful too, in terms of generating new traffic and new eyeballs on your content. So YouTube is a really good one. I recommend it. Everyone try it out. I just started doing some YouTube ads a few weeks ago, and it's been pretty well received, and it's working really great. So create a YouTube video. You don't have to make it professionally done. I mean, you can just take your iPhone and record. I mean, a lot of people, that's what they're doing nowadays. They're just taking their cell phone, holding it up, speaking right into it, and throwing that up on YouTube or wherever you want to throw that up. But don't overthink things. Just make an ad and throw it up and test it out, because if someone sees you, the business owner, speaking to them about your product or service, that's going to really build trust. So it's a lot better than just running an ad or a banner ad saying, learn about my SEO services. Now I can actually speak to you and tell you, hey, look at all these different websites I've helped rank. Here's some client testimonials. Check this all out. All in my video ad. And with YouTube, there's a lot of ways you could target with YouTube, or you could do cost per click, meaning anytime someone clicks on your or watches your video and clicks on the link, goes to your website, you pay per click. So PPC, cost per click, pay per click, kind of same thing. You also pay per impressions. Every time someone sees your video, you pay per impression. That's going to be the best, because you could set it up to not pay until somebody watches 30 seconds of your video. So if someone watches 10 seconds of your YouTube video and then skips it, of your ad, you're not paying. If they watch 29 seconds of your ad and then skip it, you don't pay. If they watch over 30 seconds of your ad, then you're going to pay, which is usually pretty cheap compared to some of the other ads. So YouTube ads, really cost effective, and it has an intent. That's really the main thing, is which ads have intent. That's what you want to go after, is intent-based advertising. You don't want to just throw ads up to people that aren't actively seeking you out. You want to find people that are looking for your specific product and service, run those ads in front of them, get them to become aware of you and drive that awareness. Most effective targeted way of doing things. So YouTube ads, though, are great because you can run these ads and you don't pay until somebody watches 30 seconds. And then if they watch another, if your ad's 10 minutes, if they watch the whole 10 minutes, you're not paying more than that. So you pay the same amount if they watch 30 seconds or 30 minutes. So I always tell people, if you're going to create some YouTube ads, I would try to make an ad that's a couple minutes, because if someone watches 30 seconds, it doesn't cost extra to have them watch an extra minute or two. So try to make them longer. I've seen people that have video ads that are an hour long, which is pretty long, but it works, because if someone's watching YouTube videos and they leave YouTube just playing videos all day long, and your ad pops up and your ad's an hour long, they might think that your ad's only going to be like a minute, so they might not skip that ad. But if it's an hour long, they're going to hear you talking and explaining your product or service, and that's really going to get them to probably want to learn more about your services. So check out YouTube ads. Great way to essentially reach a new audience and really get some nice targeting features in there. So there's also product listing ads, which are ads or shopping ads. So if you're an e-commerce website, you could have product listing ads. When you search on Google, if you search on Google for specific products, you'll see at the very top, instead of having text ads, they're actually product ads showing the product. So really powerful. If you are an e-commerce website, I would 100% recommend doing product listing ads. These are very cheap and have a good return on investment, because now you're throwing your product at the top of Google. Anytime someone searches for your product, you're always going to be there, and it's going to be a picture of your product with the reviews, the prices there. So you're not going to have anyone clicking on your listing and then find out this is too expensive. They're going to see that price right there. So they're not going to click, and you're not going to have that wasted click or wasted ad spend on these product listing ads. So check those out. If you are an e-commerce website, those are going to be really great as well. Those are also pay per click. So anytime someone clicks on your product, you pay per click. So here it's just kind of showing you the different types of ads you can run. Search, meaning the Google text to search. Display, those are the banners. Shopping, those are product listing ads, which I just talked about, the e-commerce. Video ads, which reaches people on YouTube. And then you can also do app install. So if you're trying to grow your app and you want more people installing and downloading it, you can run some app-based ads. But that one, it's not too popular. It's gaining in popularity, but more popular ones are really the search, display, shopping, and video. Those are kind of the standard ones that are out there. And one thing that I really like in terms of ads is remarketing. So I don't really like running ads, but remarketing ads, I 100% will always do, because this is really powerful. This is someone that's gone to your website and didn't do a specific action. Let's say you're an e-commerce website. Someone goes to your website, adds a product to the cart, but leaves. Now we could follow them around with ads, because we knew this person was really close to making a purchase. They went to your website, they added a product to the cart, but they didn't check out. Something must have happened. They might have got distracted, or who knows what's going on. They might have been on mobile and somebody called them and then just forgot about your website. So targeting people that have been to your website, really, really great way to market people, because now you have targeted people. Instead of just saying, I want to rank for anyone that searches for SEO companies or SEO services, now I could say, I want to target people that have been to my website. So really, really great way to keep people engaged, especially people that have been to your website. Now you know who you are. Now you're just going to keep yourself top of mind. And you can create all these different custom audiences and segments and really get granular, saying, anyone that's gone to my website, and let's say my website, I'm an SEO company. Anyone that's gone to my website but didn't go to the contact page, send them ads. Anyone that's gone to my website, went to the contact page but didn't fill it out, send them a different set of ads. So you can really target it however you like, and really have some really hyper-targeted audiences that people have gone to your website, or people have looked at products and didn't buy those products. You could have those products follow them around instead of just having general banner ads. Now you have that exact product that somebody is looking at following them around, keeping it top of mind. You can also create lookalike audiences, and all this, it might sound familiar if you've been doing, or if you do Facebook ads, but basically a lookalike audience, it says, all right, here's people that have gone to my website and contacted me via the contact form. These are the people I want. Google, make an audience that looks similar to these people. So Google will take their algorithm and somehow create an audience that's similar to people that have gone to my website and filled out that contact form, or people have gone to your website and made a purchase. Now Google's going to start studying those people, understanding who they are, the demographics, a lot of other variables that go into it, and then they can create lookalike audiences that are people that are similar, that are more than likely going to want to use your products or services. And retargeting is the strongest, the best type of ads. They're going to be a lot cheaper than running normal ads, and they tend to have higher conversion rates, meaning people convert more because this is targeted traffic. It's not just random people that are just visiting your website for the first time. These are people that have been to your website. Now they're going to see those ads follow them around all over the place. You could do remarketing on Gmail, on YouTube, on Google, on different websites, through display ads. You can do remarketing on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn. A lot of places you can do remarketing, and I would try to have a presence on all these sites if you can, if that's where your audience is at. I want remarket everywhere, but remarket to where your audience is going to be at, because these are targeted people now. Now they're going to see your banner ad or your video, and they're going to remember, I remember Brandon, I saw him doing a class. Now I see his ads are following me around, and it keeps me top of mind for people, and that results in people wanting to use my products and services. So here's kind of an example is someone goes to your website, they leave your website without doing a specific action. Now they're going to see your ads on other websites, and it makes it look like you're a lot bigger than people might know, because now they see your ads on the New York Times and the LA Times and all these big sites, and they're going to be like, wow, Brandon from SEO Optimizers is everywhere. What's he doing? But it's really just remarketing, really cheap, cost effective, great way to get that audience and grow your audience. And that is all. I see some questions that popped up, so I'll get to those in a second. Now, if anyone has any other questions, you can let me know. But Tony, are product listing ads the same as Google Shopping? Yep. So Google has a bunch of different names for all these. Sometimes it's Google Shopping, it's called product listing ads, PLA. They're always constantly changing names. So, but yep, Tony, that is the same thing. And Alicia, what's the best way to utilize free Google ads? I'm not sure what you mean by free Google ads, because ads, you have to spend money. So if you want to maybe elaborate on that, Alicia. And Christine, are Google ads more effective than Facebook ads? 100%. Well, again, it just depends who you're targeting, what your business is. But in general, Google has intent. Facebook doesn't have intent. Kind of like we talked about earlier, is there's just no intent on Facebook. So I won't really utilize it. Google, people are searching. They're looking for your product or service. They're actively looking for it. And husband, why would a customer click on Google paid ads if there are so many organic ads? I'm not sure, but people do it all the time because people don't know that they're ads. I mean, that's really what Google hopes, is to blend these ads in so you don't notice that they're ads, and then you click on them and Google makes money. But I'm not sure why people would click on ads when you have the choice for organic, but a lot of people don't realize they're clicking on the ads, and Google loves that. Google is happy to have you click on ads and not realize you're clicking on ads, and they make all that money. And Luis, I use Google Ads and we get loads of business through that. It does work. Yep. So that is kind of proof in the pudding, Luis. Yeah, it does work, but it's just making sure you set up everything properly and have the right audiences and targeting done, and then you'll see it will convert and get you new leads and new clients. And Alicia, I just signed up as a new business on Google and they offered free Google ads, or so they say. I'm not sure. Sometimes they'll give you free ad credit if you just sign up for the first time. They might give you like $50, but I'm not sure what they would be doing there. And Tony, how do we advertise AdWords on specific websites that display Google AdWords? You just go through the display network. So you go through Google Display Network and set up different targeting. And is there a way to apply SEO techniques to YouTube videos? Yep, I have a whole class that goes in depth about that, where fortunately right now we're kind of short on time. I don't have enough time to go in depth about how to do keyword research, how to write the titles, the descriptions, how to make sure you get the embeds and make sure you get the shares and make sure the watch time goes up. But yeah, there's a lot that could be done to optimize YouTube videos. Just like we optimize a website, I can optimize YouTube videos, I can optimize Yelp, I can optimize Google Maps, pretty much whatever's out there online. You can optimize so you show up at the top.